This newscast is brought to you by QBird, Pittsburgh's source for LGBTQ+ news and community information. To learn more about QBird, visit their website at qbird.com. That's QBURGH.com. From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are covering at this hour. The Department of Veterans Affairs just announced another 1,400 layoffs from mission non-critical positions. The dismissals announced Monday evening and part of the White House cost-cutting efforts follow the first round of 1,000 VA layoffs announced February 13th. Those let go are probationary employees who've served less than 2 years and could include DEI-related positions, according to the Veterans Administration announcement. Senator Richard Blumenthal, the ranking member of the Senate VA Committee, said Tuesday the dismissals will damage the Veterans Administration's ability to recruit and retain doctors and nurses. Blumenthal, a Connecticut Democrat, called on Republicans to help push back against the cuts. In other news, Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries has agreed that Democrats will not cast a single vote to help Republicans pass what he calls the reckless budget. Surrounded by colleagues on the steps of the Capitol, Jeffries said that by voting against Republicans' agenda, Democrats were standing with the American people and would push back on the Republican budget until it is, quote, buried deep in the ground, never to rise again. Decrying potential cuts to Medicaid, veterans benefits, and nutritional assistance, Jeffries called the legislation a matter of life and death. This just in, 21 civil service employees are resigning from Elon Musk's Doge, refusing to dismantle critical public services. As a follow-up to this information from New York, Governor Kathy Hochul on Tuesday welcomed recently laid off federal workers to apply for state jobs using an online portal. The federal government might say, you're fired. But here in New York, we say, you're hired. In fact, we love federal workers, Hochul said in a videotaped statement. Job cuts in the federal government have been coordinated by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. Under the stated goal of slashing government bureaucracy, there's no official tally of the total number of firings thus far. Nearly 40% of the contracts canceled by Elon Musk's Doge are expected to produce no savings. That's according to the Trump administration's own data. The Department of Government Efficiency, run by Trump advisor Elon Musk, last week published an initial list of 1,125 contracts it terminated in recent weeks across the federal government. Data published on Doge's wall of receipts shows more than one-third of the contract cancellations, 417 in all, are expected to yield no savings. That's usually because the total value of the contracts has already been fully obligated, which means the government has a legal requirement to spend the funds for the goods or services it purchased, and in many cases has already done so. It's like confiscating used ammunition after it's been shot when there's nothing left in it. It doesn't accomplish any policy objective, said Charles Tiefer, a retired University of Baltimore law professor and expert on government contracting law. They're terminating so many contracts pointlessly, obviously doesn't accomplish anything for saving money. And finally, this transphobic story from Pennsylvania. Holly Magalenjo, the parent of a cis girl, has filed a federal lawsuit because her daughter competed in track and field and cross-country meets with a trans girl. The cis girl, identified as AM, is a senior at Quakertown Community High School. The trans girl she competed against is a student at Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. Both schools are in the Delaware Valley region. Quakertown is about 40 miles north of Philadelphia in Bucks County. Plymouth Whitemarsh High School is 4 miles west of Philadelphia in Montgomery County. Quakertown Community School District has become inundated with diversity, equity, and inclusion curriculum enrichment since 2020, Magalenjo's lawsuit states. The lawsuit, which was filed last month, provides a narrative of Magalenjo's grievances. AM is a member of the Quakertown Community High School's girls cross-country team. On September 11th, 2024, AM competed in a cross-country meet at Quakertown Community High School against Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. A biological male was registered to compete in the biological female cross-country meet. The biological male, LA, is a student at Plymouth White Marsh High School. AM and LA ran competitively against one another during the September 11th, 2024 race. The biological male won the race, beating out all of the female athletes. LA took first in the race and AM took second. The lawsuit continues. AM stated to LA, "You're not a girl. You should not be racing against girls." Plymouth White Marsh's cross-country coaching staff complained to Quakertown Community High School's coaching staff about AM, stating, "You're not a girl. You should not be racing against girls," and stated that they would be reaching out to Quakertown Community High School's athletic director. Magalenjo sought assistance from her daughter's high school. On September 12th, 2024, AM's parents reached out to Quakertown Community High School for support in removing trans girls from competing in female sports, but the school's athletic director stated that was beyond the school's control, according to the lawsuit. Missy Hartney, a spokesperson for the Quakertown Community School District, reiterated to PGN, Philadelphia Gay News, that the school district has no control over Plymouth White Marsh High School. Although this involves a Quakertown Community School District student, it is not within our power to control the actions of another school, Hartney said. Hey, Holly, here's a thought. Tell your daughter to run a little bit faster, okay? Compete a little bit harder. After all, she's going to be racing against men in the workforce for the rest of her life. She might as well get used to it on the track at the school. As for her racing competitor at the school, that trans girl is a girl, no matter what the pumpkin Fuhrer at the White House tells you. Look, get a grip, girl. It's a race. Your kid lost. Deal with it. That's the news at this hour. Be sure to download the Live 365 app to take PEP Radio with you wherever you go, like to the school racetrack to watch your trans daughter or son compete in races or whatever. If you're watching these videos on YouTube, click the subscribe button. Now back to more music here on PEP Radio.